Question
they're
about
wrong.
Hitler and the Hadron Collider?
No, because I don't care.
Okay,
See? I don't care.
Your opinion is this, and I'm trying to present to you why it's not that. Let's say you're still right about the Mandela effect. Wouldn't you want to know if it wasn't CERN? And I'm trying to present you with possible evidence that it's not. Wouldn't you want to know? Let me just make the question this.
I don't really care or not. First off, I don't care whether it's CERN or not. That does not affect anything towards me. Nothing. So my memories. Well, hold on. Can I finish? Can I finish? My voice. But can I finish?
You're not yelling, right?
To my memories when it comes to my memories about Mandela effects, I don't care if CERN is involved or not. These are still things that I remember differently. Period. So take CERN out the equation, shove it up your ass. Okay? I'm not talking about that no more. It's stupid. I said it's a possibility. That was it. I'm here for a Mandela effect, not a debate. So I'm going to go take a break and I'll be back. All right. Okay, so speak to yourself.
I got questions for you when you come back. And they aren't CERN related at all.
Well, CERN was part of the Mandela effect. That's why I got brought up, right?
It absolutely was.
Yes, dumpster fire. Dumpster fire.
All I want to know is how it relates to the Mandela effect. Sure, well, anything is possible. Non-sequitur could be causing the Mandela effect. That could be the new theory out there. I'm cool with that. Let's go with that. But there's still no causal mechanism by which it's doing that.
By the way, everyone, we are at code red dumpster fire on the dumpster fire scale. We are at code red. Inferno imminent.
See, I remember you didn't have gloves when we started. Good gloves now. You didn't have gloves when we started. That's the Mandela effect, right?
Yes, Jimmy.
Kyle, go to the settings on the input called color, and with the input that has the image of so go to multi-view. You'll see it's not the lowest, but it's the lowest of the group where the image of the Mandela thing is.
Yeah.
And just hit the drop down and replace that with my video input because I feel like I need her to see my facial expressions. Hi, everybody.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Hey, see, I remember there was a picture of Nelson Mandela there before. Now there's a picture. That was a video of Jimmy.
The question is, when I started doing this glove routine, what color was the original pair of gloves that I used? People in the chat will use.
It was black.
The original.
Oh, I don't know.
Clearly.
This is the first episode.
Steve, catch us up on super chats while we wait on Rose to come back.
All right, super chat here. Jammy Sislow, $5. Word of advice: asking Jimmy to shove anything up his ass is never an insult. Never.
Yep,
this is
never.
True. In fact, it's probably like a recommendation for him.
There's a couple more too, Steve. There's a couple more that we've got.
All right, let me go. Let me actually pull the rest of it up because they went off.
But yes,
those aren't recommendations for your Saturday, Jimmy.
I have to praise Mr. Atheist while he's here for the last 2 days when we have. I've had to stream and produce the actual show, but he has been kind enough to walk me through everything and make sure that we get set up correctly. The false start that we had yesterday was my fault, and he came in and fixed that. So we do appreciate what he does. He's having apparently
happy to help.
A star in his room that's illuminating.
Jimmy to the rescue.
I decided to turn on the light, but I don't have like my video modifier on.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just
washed out.
Yeah. Do we?
All right, so let me read these. Or more,
Okay.
yes.
Go ahead.
Brant, $5. Didn't you already cover this episode a while ago? Or excuse me, didn't you already do this episode a while ago? I swear I remember you covering this topic before. Mandela effect.
Yes.
Pragmatic Culture, $2. Ask about Bernstein Bear versus Bernstein Bear universe, which we did. Caroline, we already read. Flamio, Shattered, $2. Kayoko Sugistru. I don't know what that means, but it's probably Japanese.
It's anime hocus pocus. That's what that is. I know exactly what. I've been studying up on this charlatan thing of anime. It's an evil world. It is an evil world.
It's Bleach Wiki. Bleach fan. What is Bleach fan wiki?
You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there.
I don't want to look at that stuff. It can corrupt me. NANA, $2. She is fucking nuts. What happened? Slow night. We've been planning this for a while. I've been trying to get this on forever.
I'm so glad she showed up. So glad she showed up.
Yeah, I thought you guys would be entertained.
I'm glad you let me in because, man, I was asking all of these questions out loud in my room anyway, and now she'll actually get to hear them.
It's Kyle's razor. I'm telling you. It's when given to You know, it was funny when I said that. When I said we have this thing called Kyle's Razor, meaning just on this show that it's a thing that I say.
I've heard of that.
She said, "Yeah, I've heard of that."
Yeah. Oh man.
You get around.
That could be it.
Yeah.
Could just be she watches.
But given two situations, the dullest option is always, or usually always, the most correct. Same thing here. It's just people misremembering things, and if you misremember something, probability-wise, there are going to be more people on the planet that don't remember it correctly.
What's Rose's razor? The most taken between two of them.
Given two situations, they did it for a bad reason.
Conspiratorial. Yeah. Okay.
But so the reason why I was bringing up the Hitler event with CERN is I actually remember which teacher taught me about the. By the way, everyone says that he has brown eyes because I don't remember what her real last name was, but I remember calling her Umbridge because I had just gotten the 5th Harry Potter book, and she had the same initials as Dolores Umbridge and looked like Dolores Umbridge, and so this is when I would have been 13 or at the most 14, and that's when I learned about. By the way, a lot of people talk about this brown eye thing. That's not a fact. He had blue eyes. The Large Hadron Collider, so that would have been either 2003 or 2004. Large Hadron Collider turned on 2008. So if they are saying the Mandela effect absolutely is what the Hitler thing was from, it is impossible for it to have been the Large Hadron Collider that did it.
But I don't care, and I'm not yelling!
Unless there's not some causal retrocausality going on. I mean, if there's a temporal flux within the center of the CERN, well, actually, CERN is the organization. That's not even the accelerator. CERN is the European organization.
The Large Hadron
Collider. Yeah, Large Hadron Collider. The collider itself, it could have these ripple effects throughout time. So even you're remembering things from a different experience or timeline, right? It's retrocausal.
That would mean there was a double Mandela effect. So something happened in 2003 that caused Umbridge to do the undoing
today and then back.
In that reality, but that reality wasn't created until this show.
Again.
The Mandela Ella effect. The Mandela Ella effect. Oh my God.
We should.
You heard it first.
Let's do a parody to Rihanna's Umbrella.
Yeah.
Mandela.
I was thinking the same thing. Ella, A.
Is it with A or E? Wait.
My. I think it's.
Yeah, which letter is it now?
Maybe the umbrella is a Mandela. Rihanna's umbrella is a Mandela.
I think it is A, though. I
remember the E.
And don't forget to vote for Jimmy and Jammy, the Jimmy Jam ticket.
Right.
Ella is by Kate Ryan, by the way. Ella, but that's French.
The Jimmy Jam ticket they stand for two things. They stand for forcing you to vote, whether you want to or not, and if you don't, either giving you the death penalty or sending you to prison for 10 years. So,
the death or 10, the DD policy. Yes.
Yep, the DD policy.
That's exactly how I remember our.
By the way,
position.
people in the live chat are getting headaches to the point where their nose are starting to bleed because they can't figure this out.
Good. That means we're just like cocaine.
Good.
Just like cocaine. Good. That's it. Cheaper.
Rose, are you back?
Like cocaine, but cheaper.
I don't think she'll come back.
Regretfully.
Back?
What do you mean?
Oh, okay, you're back.
Talking about me.
Rose is Constitution. Yeah, Rose doesn't pussy out. Trust me, she's nobody.
Good. Well, welcome back. All right, Mr. Atheist, go ahead.
And my hope is that I can ask you more questions because here's the thing, Rose. And I'm asking you this question genuinely. Do you care about believing what is true or not?
Of course, absolutely.
Okay, and I do too. So when I'm asking you these questions, while I might already think that there is no evidence that the Large Hadron Collider has anything to do with this so-called Mandela effect, if you have truth
that's fine.
That I don't, I want it. I don't want you to just have it and go, I'll believe what I believe and you believe. If you believe what you believe and it's correct, I want you to demonstrate it to me, which is what the follow-up questions are for.
Well, no, you need to look into it yourself. That's what. If you
what
want
am I
the
doing
truth,
right now
then
by
you'll
talking
find
to
it.
you? I'm talking to you.
No. You need to stuff. You
talking
need to
to me? No,
research
you're
like I
talking to
did.
So
You need to
Rose,
research.
then
It's not that
to anybody
I
who's
have any.
watching, so to anybody who's watching who wants to know whether or not there's anything to this thing you're talking about, are you saying you're wasting their time because they need to go research it, that you're not a resource for them?
Well, I am
I'm
a
trying to
resource.
use you
I'm
as a
telling you to look
resource.
into CERN. I'm telling you to look
talking to
into
you.
CERN.
Well, let me ask a question
into you.
real quick, Jimmy. You keep saying research, Rose. What research are you referring to?
Well, when you want to know the truth about something or you're interested in something, you look into it. It's just simple.
Okay. That's what I'm doing talking to you. Okay, so let me ask you this. With all of the instances of the Mandela effect you are certain you have seen in your life, what percentage chance would you put on that in fact your memory was flawed?
What? About all the Mandelas I've seen? Which ones do you think I was wrong?
Yeah, that it is in the Mandela effect. Would you put any possibility that your memory is actually incorrect?
No, because the only Mandela effects I would stand by are the ones that I remember being different. If the other ones, it doesn't matter. If that's what it is, that's what it is. Whatever.
Right. So what are the chances of those things that you remember that you're remembering them wrong?
Not the ones I know of. No, I'm not wrong. Because I remember them the way they are. Yeah, no.
There is zero chance that your memory is wrong?
About the ones I am aware of? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not wrong.
Okay.
No. Because it's memory. What do you mean? How?
So no. Let me ask you.
If I don't remember it a certain way, then I wouldn't even waste my time with it. Who cares?
No. I understand that. I'm not asking you whether or not I believe you that you remember propellers. I'm not asking you whether or not what the chances are you don't remember propellers. You obviously remember propellers. What about, I'm asking you what chances there are that there were no propellers and you're remembering propellers incorrectly?
No, I've seen the movie. I sat down and watched the movie many, 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 many times.
Noting each time the propellers.
But it's part of the movie. You enjoy. You remember them floating around and they're being silly, going up towards the trees because of the propellers. I remember it in the movie, clearly.
So I think as you suggest to me that I should do research on the Large Hadron Collider, which I genuinely suspect, and I don't mean this as an insult, but from what you've said so far, I suspect my knowledge base on the Large Hadron Collider is by a multitude of at least 10 greater than yours. But while I go and do more research on it, I suggest you maybe go and do research on the human brain, how memories are formed, what is happening when you're having a memory. Okay, so could you tell me how a memory is formed?
I've studied psychology.
Great. How do you form a memory? What's biologically happening in your brain?
I'm not going to get into this. I'm not.
Why?
No, you don't know. No, the answer is you don't know. It's not that you won't get into it. You don't know.
Isn't it a physiochemical reaction that causes the neurobiological pathway to be formed from it? So you have this kind of electrical connections in the neuron.
What do you mean? Kind of words? I could even
something along those lines. Neurology is not my thing.
I'm curious as to why Rose. Why won't you answer that question?
Because I don't know the correct scientific words to even put on the computer.
Okay, so you don't know.
Neither do I, but I'm able to throw out something that may be close to it. Jimmy, I mean, is that close to what it is?
Sound great, Steve. Sound great.
Wonderfully close and adequately close enough to where I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be worried you hadn't actually looked into it. Here's the thing, Rose. You're talking about an effect, the Mandela effect, that has to do with memory, and I don't think you understand a thing about memory.
I don't care what you think.
What was concerned about the CERN? What is it that we could look into at CERN? Like, for example, I happen to like physics, right? I like atomic physics. What is it that I can learn about how they're bombarding? Let's say they're taking particles like protons and slamming them together, and they're producing all these other particles, right? Neurons and mesons, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of particles that are produced. What is it about learning about that that is going to get me to where I can say this is what's going to cause the Mandela effect?
Well, that was my first question.
Well,
she told me to shove it up my ass, but maybe she'll answer it for
Well,
you.
she can tell me to shove it up my ass too, but unlike you, I won't be doing that on Saturday.
The thing is, you're telling the two straight people how